What tools are used in this delicate procedure? This gun in my hand.
WPBC Studios is supported by Blyco. Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Can you humor rich people or their delegates 40 to 80 hours per week for the rest of your life, knowing you'll almost certainly die before you retire? I know you can. Will you put on a brave face and do whatever it takes to muddle through the tedious decades until someday you can gather the oligarchs in a rowboat and set them adrift in the Pacific? Of course you will. Will my bosses notice this call to insurrection in the middle of an insurance commercial? Or will they be lulled into a daze by my patronizing, droning tone? I'm betting on door number 2. Blyco makes bundling your insurance easy. Get a quote at blyco.verf today. Limited offer, taxes not included, no gods, no masters.
Falk Zildjian, indescribable hero by virtue of the fact that he carries a gun, patrols Parabellum City late into the afternoon, seeking out wrongs to right with his gun. Hey, Shoeshine Man, got any leads for me today?
I got a name, you know. Roberto Zapata. I've been thinking about taking a hero name, too. The Street Wordsmith, or Word on the Street Smith.
Keep brainstorming, you'll come up with something.
Did you figure out what was making that monster sound the last couple days? Word on the street was it was squamous.
I tracked it down. There was this scientist, Professor Batrachian, not an Armenian name, by the way, go figure. He turned himself into a 50-foot-long Mexican newt.
Batrachian doesn't sound like a Mexican name.
The type of newt is found in Mexico. I don't know what his human heritage is. So his wife works nights and she's trying to sleep during the day. She's the sole breadwinner for the family now that the university suspended the professor for unethical experimentation. And he keeps bumping around their condo and waking her up. She got fed up with it.
She was the one making that noise? Is she a giant newt, too?
No, it was the professor. I got a sound recording of the thing.
You got one of those reel-to-reel tape recorders under your hat?
I can play it on my two-way wrist radio. Tracy the Dick was getting a new model, so he gave me his old one. It can also record and playback. Anyway, when we heard it, it sounded like this. After you change the pitch, it sounds like this.
Sorry.
He won't cause any more trouble, though.
So you offed him?
No, he's continuing his research at a little town called San Francisco, in southern Mexico.
I don't have any leads for you today, but you can clear up something for me. My currency is information, and I get paid better when my information is accurate.
You get paid with more information?
No, with money. You should look into that sometime.
What about the skee-ball tickets I gave you?
Right, I can trade those tickets plus 3,000 prizes from Cracker Jacks for a week's rent. Anyway, I know you keep your private life private. That's completely understandable. You can trust me. I ain't gonna tell nobody. What's your story?
Well, today I was patrolling Parabellum City late into the afternoon, seeking out wrongs to right with my gun, and then here I am talking to you.
I mean, what's your origin story? What turned you into a crime fighter? There's a lot of words on the street about you, but I think they're all bunk. Take one example, they say you're the heir to a 400-year-old company that manufactures cymbals and musical instruments.
Wrong.
How about this one? Your parents were big fans of the actor who played Columbo or the creator of The Phantom, that purple-hooded jungle adventurer from the funny papers.
Wrong.
Come on, what made you you?
This gun in my hand. Seriously, I went out and got a gun. That makes me a hero. I wasn't bitten by a radioactive revolver. There's no trail of dead relatives to be avenged.
Huh.
So no leads today?
Nope.
I guess if I was telling somebody about my adventures, I'd leave this part out.
Yep.
Not much going on. You have to know which parts of the story are important enough to mention and which parts to skip. Because a good story has to be better than real life. Take that story I told you about capturing the skee-ball counterfeiters.
Here we go again.
When I told you about that, I didn't mention stopping in the gas station 10 minutes earlier to use the John. It's true, but it wouldn't add anything to the story.
Not just parts of stories. A good storyteller probably knows when stories should be left out.
Yes, exactly.
Because they're weak and no one cares.
Right, that's very... Hey!
I almost forgot, there's a guy who wanted to get in touch with you. Needs help with some problem.
I guess that's as close to a lead as I'll get today. Please, if someone needs help giving away a litter of kittens, word on the street is I'm not a cat person. Falk met the man in Gristle Park 30 minutes later.
Falk Zildjian. It's so good to finally meet you. I'm a big fan. My name's Hal Montauk. I've been following your work for ages now, all the way back to your days busting up the counterfeiting ring.
Great. What was it you wanted to see me about?
Maybe we should talk somewhere else. Would you want to go to that abandoned grade school or something? You don't want to establish a pattern of meeting people on a bench at Gristle Park all the time. Somebody could lay a trap if they follow you and get to know your habits.
How did you know I've met people here before?
I've been following you. But I'm not trying to lay a trap. I wouldn't even know where to get quicksand if I wanted to.
This place is fine. How can I help you?
Well, I'm just getting started in a career as a crime fighter, and although I know I have what it takes to really make a go of it, I'd like to team up with somebody. Not as your partner. What I need is a mentor.
I really don't...
I use the name the human resource when I'm doing solo work, but I hate doing solo work. I'd rather work for someone else. You can tell me what to do, how to act, what to wear. I am a tool to be used for whatever task you want me to perform.
Well, I appreciate it.
You could call me Falk Jr., or some humiliating name that makes you sound tougher by comparison. Like that girl who sidekicks for Matt Mann. He gave her a really mundane hero name like Rosalind or Roberta, something like that. Or you could just call me Hal. That would make it easier for villains to track down my secret identity, so they could kidnap me and you could use that as motivational fuel to take revenge when you rescue me.
You have all this planned out, don't you?
I'm serious about making a career as a crime fighter. I might be able to venture out on my own someday, but I'd like to keep learning and growing for now. And who better to learn from than the master, Falk Zildjian? I really admire what you've achieved, your substantial body count.
Whoa, I haven't killed...
Before you decide, please let me lay out some of my accomplishments. In my solo work as the human resource, I stopped 8,000 illegal immigrants from entering the U.S. That's 8,000 jobs picking cherries I saved for hardworking Americans. What else? Oh, I always yell out the car window when I'm passing pedestrians who are guilty of walking while fat. And there's this Asian vigilante. I'm pretty sure he's Japanese, I can usually tell. He wears a domino mask and chauffeur uniform. He's been threatening bankers and realtors, interfering with their decisions on who's allowed to buy houses and where. I chased him off from Whitetail Estates, this gated community outside Parabellum Heights. Unfortunately, he got away in an old souped-up Studebaker.
Was it blue?
I call it more of a sapphire, but yeah. Of course, I bet you fought him before.
I'll tell you what, Hal, I'm not in the market for a partner or assistant.
Another possibility is we could do like tele-advising. You contact me on a radio or phone. I could do research behind the scenes for you at the speed of electricity. I could telephone people to get info, or I could look up entries in an encyclopedia and read them back to you.
Even if I was looking for a colleague, I think we have a fundamental difference in values. But let me give you the number of a guy I know, Doc Salvage. That's with an L in the middle, not that other guy. His office is in the second tallest building in town. Make an appointment with Doc. I think he can help you on your path toward personal improvement.
Great.
He has a clinic, more of a workshop, where he gets a lot of people together who are struggling. He kind of picks their brains, and after the procedure is over, they come out happy, successful, and contributing to society. A 0% recidivism rate.
Recidivism?
It's a great procedure and great program, and you can ignore the critics from the Journal of Neurosurgery because Doc is not a registered surgeon of any kind, so he doesn't have to adhere to their standards. In fact, Doc is just his nickname.
Okay, but if I go through his workshop thing, you might consider mentoring me later down the road?
You can bet on it.
Gee, thanks.
Although gambling is illegal and inevitably leads to heartbreak and sleeping in the gutter, so I would never advise anyone to bet on anything. I was just kidding. Don't bet on it.
Thanks, Mr. Zildjian. You won't regret this.
And after Doc's procedure, you won't remember enough to regret it either.
What?
Sidekickoff, episode 19 of This Gun in My Hand, was sewn together by Rob Northrop. Visit thisguninmyhand.blogspot.com for credits, show notes, information on how to subscribe, and to buy my books, such as Little Heist in the Big Woods and Other Revisionist Atrocities. What has a powerful kick and is always by my side? This gun in my hand.